What's up everyone, welcome back to Saint Seiya Awakening. It's Wednesday, which means new banner, which means new amazing saint that we all want to get, but not really, unfortunately not really. This guy that came out today, KRISHNA, or KRISHNA, is not one of the most used saints in the game, even though his design is really cool, and I actually love this character in the anime. His uses in the game are really limited and specific, and I have not seen a lot of people put him to use. And when I say a lot of people, I mean basically no one. Now, don't stop watching the review just yet. We are going to make our best effort to give him a fair shake, give him a fair review. We're going to look as usual at his abilities, his weaknesses, his potential uses, his potential team combinations, everything we usually do. We're going to give him a fair chance, and then you can decide for yourself if there's a way for you to fit him in your team or not. If there is, then best of luck to you. If there isn't, then keep on saving. Maybe next week we get something new. I don't know what they're doing with the banners on this version. They seem to be following some sort of story order in which those saints like Shion and Arayashiki that don't show up until the Hades saga are not going to be available for a while. Now, there is a bright side. This means Poseidon could be right around the corner, because there are no more Marinas at S rank that they could do as a banner. What we do have is a Golden Yoga version, and we also have the Naked Shun. So I wonder if they're going to put those guys out first and then Poseidon, or if they're going to skip them, do Poseidon, and then do those guys at a later date. I have no clue. I'm done trying to guess what this game is doing. So whatever banner they throw next week, if we already did the review, then we'll keep on working on the saints available right now. If we haven't done the review, then we'll review the new one. Anyway, I don't have this guy here on Global, so I'm going to jump over to the SEA account where I do have him, and a couple of days ago I went crazy on stream. I 5-starred him, I gave him some pretty decent Cosmo, so we can not only review him, but we can put him to action and see if he actually works. Alright, here we are then on the SEA account. The banner this week for SEA is Evil Saga, which I've heard is an amazing character. He is a god killer, and his profile picture over here is really quite interesting. He's got like an Instagram model or a teenage magazine model pose going on, and the skill icons are really cool too, like this one. Evil Intent. He's frying somebody's brain or something. I really like him. One day we'll have him on Global and we'll be able to look at him in more detail. But that's not why we're here today. We're here for Mr. KRISHNA, or KRISHNA, whatever order you want to say his name. This guy is a support character, which unfortunately, like I already mentioned, has very limited uses in the game because his abilities are just not that impressive. What he does is not that much compared to other saints, so it's really hard to decide to use up a slot on your team for this guy when there are saints that can do so much more. But anyway, let's look at his skills as we usually do. His first one is a basic single target Cosmo damage attack. He is a Cosmo type attacker, but it also has a 60% chance to inflict Glare Seal. Now keep the seal in mind because all of his abilities are tied to the seal. He is the only unit in the game that can do what he does. Unfortunately, what he does is not that amazing, but he is the only one that can do it. The second skill, Great Light, is an AoE attack that does 20% damage, so obviously he is not an attacker, he is a support, but it also has a 10% chance to apply Glare Seal to enemies that don't already have it, and this is AoE, so he has a chance to apply it to everyone. So now, that's two ways that we can acquire that Glare Seal, the single target and the AoE. Both his third and fourth are passives, and they're both tied into that seal and the way that his second skill works. On the third one, when casting the Great Light, that's the second skill, KRYSAOR has a 3% chance against all enemies and 80% against his main target. Remember, the main target is the guy that you click on in order to use his skill. So 3% against everyone, 80% against the main target, to occlude the target's 7 chakras, invalidating their Cosmo special effects. Now, the description for this could be better. What this means is that he can disable the legendary Cosmo effect of his enemies. So to use, for example, Rock. Rock can produce extra energy when an enemy attacks. If we disable Rock, then he no longer has the chance to produce extra energy. The same thing works with all other Cosmos. For example, Vulcan Chain, which does more damage when the enemies have full HP. If we disable that effect of Vulcan Chain with KRYSAOR, then the enemy will not deal that additional damage. It'll just be a basic attack. This lasts for 1 action round. The fourth one, which is also a passive and also tied into everything else, has a chance to permanently occlude the 7 chakras, meaning permanently disabling the effects of legendary Cosmo. This effect cannot be purified. You're gonna see it later in the fight, but the basic debuff when he only disables it for 1 round is like a light red color. When this one activates, the one that permanently disables it, then that debuff becomes like a deep dark red. That means that Cosmo is not going to work for the rest of the fight. Now, this sounds really cool, but there are 2 problems with KRYSAOR. One is the super low activation rate for these things. Although they can all be brought up by equipping status hit Cosmo, the chance starting at only 10% for this one and 3% for this one is really dismal. It's pathetic. It's really hard to pull off. I mean, to get this one to 100%, you would have to equip 90% additional status hit, which is really hard to do. So that's the first problem. It's really hard to get his skills to activate. The second problem is that if the skill does activate, the effect is not that strong. Disabling the enemy's legendary Cosmo is not as strong as it sounds. You're at most, you're going to reduce a little bit of effectiveness, you're going to reduce a little bit of damage, but it's not nearly as powerful as, for example, silencing the enemy and not allowing them to use skills. And that combination of problems makes him really hard to use, and that's the reason you don't see him here on SEA and you don't see him on the China server, which has been out for over a year now either. If you do happen to summon for him because you want to use it, he's your favorite character and you're going to find a way to make it work, then if you pull dupes, you may want to start by upgrading the second skill, because this is the AoE that can apply the glare seal. Remember, if we don't have the glare seal, then this one, the fourth one, the one that permanently disables Cosmo, cannot apply. This is a typo. It says flare seal, but it's actually glare seal. If by some miracle you max this skill and you want to move on to another one, then I would probably upgrade these two kind of hand in hand, do 1 and 1, then 2 and 2, kind of bring them up together so all the chances of something happening go up together. Now, as for Cosmo, the entire focus of KRISHNA is going to be speed and status hit. Status hit probably before speed, because remember, his activation rate is really low. So we're hunting for an additional 90% status hit. Every single piece of Cosmo that can give a status hit is welcome. Unfortunately, none of the red ones, none of the solar ones do that, so probably the best option would be Flower Ring. It gives us 2 boosts of physical defense and plus 20 speed, which is the second most important stat for him. A decent second option in case you don't have any Flower Ring would be this anti-stick, which is not even available on global yet, but when it does become available, it gives him both types of defenses and it gives him some resistance, so he can't be controlled. In Lunar, by far, there is not even a discussion. Seiya is the best option for him. It gives him 2 HP boost and status hit as well. In Star, we have a couple of different options. I would put number 1 would have to be Lotus. It gives him the 3 stats that we want: HP to survive, status hit to apply his debuffs, and speed to make sure he moves first. Now, if you're finding yourself not moving first and you need more speed, you could go with New Moon, but you do miss out on that status hit, which is majorly important in him. Letter would be a good option as well. It has status hit, resistance, and HP, but we lose out on the speed. So it's all a matter of finding a balance where you move first, you have a lot of status hit, and you can still make it work. Under Legendary, it gets a little bit more interesting. Because his AoE attack only uses 1 energy, it's very likely that we're going to use it every single turn, and we could even use it twice if we pair him up with Luna. That means that all of those Cosmos that apply a debuff to the enemy are really good, because the entire enemy team is going to get hit by it. Decelerator is a really popular choice for supports of this type, like the regular Virgo, like Yoga for example in the Ice team. The main stat is speed, which is great for him, and it also decreases the speed of the enemy. So it makes your KRISHNA faster, it makes the entire enemy team slower, and it stacks. So after 2 rounds, you could decrease the speed of the enemy by a total of 60. And an interesting one that came up while we were working on the review live on stream is Windflower. This one decreases the status hit of the enemies by 20%. It also stacks just like Decelerator, so you could theoretically decrease the status hit by 40%. This could be a really good option against control teams, whether it be the Ice Boys or it be a stunning team, teams that require a lot of status hit in order to work. It gives you a good speed boost and it decreases the enemy status hit, making those freezes harder to come by, the stuns less likely to work, and because he's a support and he's there to debuff the enemy as much as possible and disable them as much as possible, then this could be a really good option. But again, it's a very specific use. If you're not facing a team that needs a lot of status hit, then it would be completely useless. The last option that might be worth mentioning is Blood Elf. This one decreases the target's defense, so you could use KRISHNA to disable the enemy's Cosmo and also set up for your nukers. If you can decrease the enemy's defense before your nuker moves, then that obviously increases your damage. But unfortunately, the main stat here is HP, not speed. I think number 2 stat on him should be speed right after status hit. In subsets, that's exactly what we're looking for: status hit, speed, and then everything else that can help us survive is just a bonus. HP, defense, resistance, all of those things would come in handy, but that should not be your focus. Remember, you need 90% status hit if you don't manage to upgrade his skills. Moving on to team compositions, he is a support and he really fits well with any team because he doesn't necessarily need other units to do what you're trying to do with him. He could play very well as a complement to control teams, maybe with the regular Virgo, damage from Leo, and then some other sort of control. He could also apply slow or break the status hit. It's not going to be the fastest fight in the world, but it may be one way to use him. Other than that, it's really hard for me to tell you a specific team that he would be good in because I've never seen him used. So I've never seen a team that's like, oh wow, KRISHNA is doing doing amazingly here. That is the unfortunate reality of him, is that people kind of forget that he's there. Among his weaknesses, the most glaring one has to be that ultra high requirement of Cosmo, because his proc chances are so low. He is also susceptible to control like most other units in the game except Saori. He can be silenced, frozen, petrified, stunned, all of the above. If he gets controlled and can't use his skills, then that's it. Absolutely no use. And the last one is that it is a pretty huge investment for very little return. The chances that he's gonna make the big difference in a fight that you would win or lose are very small. So to take somebody to 5 stars like I did and equip the Cosmo and power up the Cosmo and all of the above and maybe upgrade his skills and whatever, it's just too much of an investment for too little return. One positive thing I'll mention is that he is quite tanky. He is an A in both HP and physical defense and an S in Cosmo defense, so he is really hard to kill. It's just hard to get him to do something while he's alive. But anyway, that's enough talking crap about poor KRISHNA. We are gonna go test him in Arena. Now, you know me, I don't play control. I have never liked control teams, so we're gonna go with an absolute nuker strategy, and we're just gonna try to use him as setup to try to debuff and disable the enemy team as much as possible. Hopefully we can see those skills proc, we can see the permanent disabling, and we can see if it actually has an effect in the battle or not. Alright, I ranked up quite a bit, and we're gonna try to fight this guy here on the left. He's got a Poseidon, he's got a Pandora, Araya Shiki Shaka, a lot of units that are not available on Global, so it's a good chance for you guys to see them as well. And he's got some Doko there for good measure, because Doko is always good. We're gonna go in, try to fight him with a stupid team containing KRISHNA, and see if we can proc that disabling of the enemy's legendary Cosmo. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference in this fight or not. None of these units that we're fighting actually have, well, maybe this Virgo is probably on Felina. Maybe we go for disabling the enemy Virgo's Felina, because that could be a really hard attack. And we're gonna use a super aggressive strategy, just like we did yesterday in the Spanish review. Alright, we're gonna go no healer. We're gonna go with June, Nachi. We're not even gonna go with June. We're gonna go like this. And we're gonna bring some other threat here. We're gonna go absolutely. Oh wait! I'm sorry, we need KRISHNA. We absolutely need KRISHNA. So this is what we're gonna do. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm actually tempted to go with Luna today instead of Nachi and try to double turn KRISHNA. See if we can get that skill to proc a little bit more easily. Let's go in like this. It's quite dangerous because this Doko can one-shot me. So I don't know how well this is gonna work. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna generate some energy. I'm gonna double turn. Oh crap! Oh crap! This Virgo starts with an attack. Nani desu ka? Okay, we're gonna try to disable the legendary on Poseidon then. Alright, did we get something? Yeah, we got something. So this guy's got a light red debuff. That means it's disabled for 1 turn. Now, I want to see what happens when I disable it for 1 more turn. Nothing happened. Everybody has 2 slows though, so my whole team is probably going to move next turn. Here, I'm going to try to freeze something. I'm going to try to freeze this June so she can't vine. Did not work. Feels bad, man. Now this Pandora is going to start healing. I don't even know how she works, but I'm pretty scared. Should we focus? I don't even know who to focus. I'm very sad that we couldn't freeze this June because that means we're most likely going to die. I'm going to double turn Kiki now. Yeah? I'm going to double turn Kiki, create some more energy. Maybe I can get 2 shots of something off this round. Damn it. Wow, we got 3 turns with Kiki. Shit. I don't need 3 turns with Kiki right now, man. Why you do this? That Juna moved, so the vine is up again. Can we disable something here? Can we disable something, please? Okay, we disabled Poseidon. Freaking Araya Shiki Shaka cleanses it. Luna is dead. This is looking pretty dire. Pandora just healed everybody for, like, their entire freaking HP. Nani the heck just happened? What the actual shit just happened? Yo, Pandora, stop! Pandora, stop! How does Pandora work? I don't know how she works. No, not nearly enough damage, and we don't have enough energy to use Shion. Does he have enough energy? He does have enough energy. I think we're dead. I'm fairly sure we're dead. This was a complete failure. Yo, Pandora is insane. She's healing for 30,000. How? Wait, stop! Okay, Pandora Showcase, all of a sudden, in case you were wondering, she's still going. She's still going. She's still doing stuff. I don't know what she's doing, but she's still doing stuff. Yeah, we're freaking dead. We're absolutely 100% dead here. 100% dead. There's no way we can win this now, I think. Yeah, we're dead. Let's try again and not play against the Pandora team. Alright, I found a new opponent that we should maybe be able to beat. He's got no healers, so we could play the long game with him and try to steal this dub somehow, because it's really difficult, because you're almost wasting a slot. I'm sorry to say it, but this slot right here could be so much better used by basically any other freaking saint in the game. Now, he has single target from Xion. I feel like I need a Juna here, because there's no way I'm gonna kill this Xion fast enough before he explodes someone of mine. So he also has AoE with Arayashiki though. The good thing about Juna is that she prevents a little bit of damage too. So maybe Juna is a good option here. We're gonna play it a little bit safer, and we're not gonna go so aggressive over here. Should we take out maybe we take out Poseidon? Maybe we take out Poseidon and we go with Luna, yeah? And we trust the best friends forever, BFFs, Doko and Xion. Maybe they can pull this off. Let's see. We're gonna double turn Kiki. Do we want to double turn Kiki? Yes, we want to double turn... No, we're gonna double turn Doko. That way we'll have we have a chance to create a few more dragons. Yeah, so we're going no healer against no healer again. I'm already getting Eclipse, which I actually have no idea what that does. Here, I am going to try to disable this Arayashiki Shaka, because it's probably on Felina, right? So if I disable the effect of Felina, it worked. So next turn, now here's the other weakness from KRISHAOR. Once Arayashiki Shaka is out, this asshole cleanses a debuff automatically. So this thing might not even ever take effect. Yeah? It might not even take effect. Because if he cleanses it before he moves, then nothing will happen. Now I'm gonna get silence here. Who is it gonna be? He silenced nobody. He failed. Can I explode? Can I explode this Hades here? Oh my god, if we get a crit, we may be able to do it. Oh, 49,000, not enough. That's the 8 cents for you. That is the 8 cents for you, ladies and gentlemen. We just got... Oh my god, double turn Kiki, because I need a lot of energy this turn so that I can nuke with both Doko and, Xion. We get 3 turns. Alright, Kiki. Kiki's excited about this fight. He hasn't gotten a chance to fight in a while, so he's trying to go all out. This Hades just did a single attack twice. I'm not sure why. Does he not have energy? What is happening? What the actual hell is happening? This guy cleansed. You see he got a buff? That means he cleansed something. That means my freaking Krishna here is utterly and completely useless. I am going to try to kill this Hades because I don't know what it does and I'm scared. Hades is dead. Hades is dead, and so was whoever was here. I can't remember. Oh, the regular Virgo. Can we blow up the good... Oh, the smart Virgo now. No, we couldn't. It was close, but we're saved by Juna's Vine. Fortunately, we had Juna's Vine here. Let's go for double turn on Doko. Yeah, we create some more dragons, and I think this one should be in the back. There's no way this Super Shaka turns it around. Okay, I think we're fighting someone who set their Virgo on automatically to use the first skill. Yeah, because he hasn't used the AoE once. So I think this is a give me fight. Again, the disable is only temporary. We haven't been able to land the permanent one. And I think the one time we did land it, it was against freaking... what's his face? Kiki. It was actually against Kiki. Bam, bam. 2 more. Bam, bam. No, only 1. He's gonna shield most likely. No. He goes for the extinction. Does not do much though. Thank you. Thank you, Vine. Thank you very much. Can we see the red one? What's... Okay, Kiki got it again. Wait. Kiki. Why does it always disable Kiki? What the heck, game? I see you're trying to cheat me. It always happens on Kiki. Let's get the permanent one on this guy. No, we got it on Xion. Alright, let's get the permanent one on this guy. Alright, we didn't get it. Let's get the permanent one on this guy. 3 turns. I guess not. I guess not. He cleansed it, but notice he cleansed his own while the permanent one could not be cleansed. So that is a positive, I suppose. In some universe, that would be a positive. Arayashiki can't cleanse the permanent one. But yeah. We won, but KRISHAOR... I don't know if he made any difference whatsoever in that fight. Other than maybe the slow. But then again... Why not go with the regular Shaka, which can also AoE slow, and he can silence something that is actually useful. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. I'm sorry that the review is not more positive, that I don't have better news for you as far as the Saint, but who knows, maybe he gets reworked in the future, maybe he gets a buff with, you know, those rumored armor repair things that are coming out in the future. Maybe one day he'll be useful, he just is not right now. Especially at the part of the game that we're at on Global, where we're still trying to build our core teams. Dedicating resources to this guy would be a gigantic waste. Alright, so we'll be back later this week. I think the next review we'll be doing is Saori, which is one of the Saints available right now, and it's actually quite useful in the current meta. Alright, so you'll probably see her either Friday or Saturday. I'll try to make it happen this week. If you haven't already, please remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!